Hello and welcome to this video and this commentary, I guess. So as you can see right here, I am not in my home gym. This past week I was actually lucky enough to be in California. I guess actually for about 9 days, which was pretty cool. Got to see the sights, the sounds, and meet Dan Green actually, which was cool, and visit his gym as well, which is Boss Barbell Club. Really nice gym. There isn't enough good things I can say about this gym. One of the biggest things that sets it apart from any other gym I've been to, I would say, is the kind of the community, the culture that's in this gym. Almost every person, obviously there's some exceptions, but pretty much every member at the gym wants to make you feel as welcome as possible. We were there for 7 days. 6 of those days were in a row, and almost every single time we got asked if we had just joined or why we were there, not in like a intimidating way, but more so just to really make sure that we felt welcome, make sure that we were able to be part of this community if that's something that we wanted. And we got to meet a lot of nice people this way, and hopefully make some connections that we're going to be able to keep up with when we move out there in about 2 months now, which is pretty cool. So my purpose of visiting there, apart from to see my girlfriend, she doesn't live in California yet. She flew up from Florida, and we met in California and spent a week there. And the purpose of this visit was to try and get a job so that I could have a visa sponsorship and emigrate to the United States and live in California. And I was actually able to do that. I've secured a job in digital marketing. That's kind of my area of expertise, with a startup company, and I'm going to be working remotely in the UK for the next 2 months, and then emigrating out there hopefully at the end of April. But I will be in Florida for the middle of April because my girlfriend has her competition, and then we're going to go to my university's powerlifting competition as well the following week, and I'm just going to kind of YOLO there, I guess. But really the purpose of my training right now is just to continue building that volume, building some level of skill acquisition and specificity as well. So I'm making sure to keep some singles in there, even if the singles are on close variants right now, so pause squats and pause deadlifts. But then my single for bench is on competition bench. I just don't think that the carryover is as clean on that, mainly because I never train on competition equipment, so it's almost a variation when I do. So this week I just kept it with the comp singles. That's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my training, but I'm liking this style of training a bit more than doing singles or really heavy reps on the competition specific movements. I think it just gives me a little bit more flexibility in terms of being able to push the weights. Like for me, a mental block would be like 550 on squat. I've only ever squatted 551 once at RPE 8, and that's not necessarily, that's kind of a heavy load, and I felt very fatigued after doing that. So that's not something that I want to be doing all the time, and I think in my head, I'm very conscious that I'm closing on the 600 mark, and so to go on and load like 560, 570, which I know I'm capable of week in, week out, is not something that I think I could consistently do and hit those weights comfortably. But doing a 515 pause squat is something that I was able to do this week, but it wasn't something that I necessarily thought I was capable of doing or really worried about that much. I was like, I did 505 last week, felt good, let me see if 515's there, and it was like an RP 7. So it's cool to be able to do that and see where I'm at with those things, and then really just obviously trying to improve my overall comp squat. I think that pause squats and pause deadlifts do have a lot of carryover. If used properly, you have to be making sure that they're not too distant. I don't think it's worth doing like a 5-second pause squat or pause deadlift, but maybe a 1 or 2 count is going to be good. I think I'm doing a 2 count at the moment on squats and deads, and I'm liking it. I think that with the deads, it can cause me to get out of position a little bit, but that's more due to the fact that my hip mobility isn't great, and so holding at the bottom position is really hard because breaking the floor is already kind of an issue for me. But that's something I've worked on. I moved my grip out towards the end of the week, so in this clip right here, you can see my grip is still 1 finger on the smooth, and you can see that my hip position is still very high, but towards the end of the week, I played around with moving it out, so it was about an inch from the smooth, so it was all knurling, and kind of my hands were basically just inside my legs, and I like this a little bit more. I think it allows me to get my hips down more. Obviously my arms are quite long, so having them closer together might seem like an advantage, but at the same time I think in my head I'm using this to notify me to set my hips a little bit higher, and it's not helping. And this was my block pull from the week. This was meant to be a double, but my hands were just absolutely ruined. The Alico bar just shreds your hands if you haven't used one before. This was 705. It felt pretty terrible, to be honest. And then this is a little clip of Nani here, just doing one of her back off sets of deadlifts. Wanted to include this to just show how far she's come with her training. She's absolutely crushing it, and she's closing in on her meet and closing in on that 300 deadlift. So pretty excited for that. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of good squatting. Really enjoying my training program so far. Enjoying these variants, and hopefully I think it's going to put me in a good position to do this YOLO meet. Not that I'm going to be pushing myself too hard. You know, I'm going to definitely just be using it as a test. Leave my numbers with 1 RPE in the tank type thing. So not hitting absolute maxes. I want to comfortably go 9 for 9, and hopefully just improve on my meet PRs. I think it is with the deadlift bar, so we'll see how that affects me. I was able to deadlift 650 beltless on a deadlift bar last week, so I think that my numbers are going to be pretty good on that. Should be looking for about 730, 740, but we'll see again what's there on the day. So at RPE 8 or 9, that's only going to be about 720. So I'm not really going to be trying to push that too much, but again, just go there, have fun, and see how everything goes. Use the squat and the bench more as a measure of those, because I think I know a bit more where my deadlift is at. Using the pause squats and the lower rep sets, I'm able to consistently see that it's improving steadily and surely. So it's a nice place to be. Little bit of a struggle this week on bench, I would say. I can definitely see that my rep work's progressing, but not so much the singles. I was able to work up to 353, and it moved alright. Nothing particularly special. It ties my comp BB. It's on comp equipment, so I guess that's pretty cool. And then this set right here, I think this is 320 or a little bit more than that, but on reflection it's pretty easy. But yeah, so I'm happy with how bench has gone. I think there's a lot more that needs to be done to get me where I need to be with that. But overall happy with that. Really happy with this pause squat set right here, 515 for a single. Also caught these trousers, well, not trousers, I guess you would say like compression pants, and I really like them from Under Armour. But this was good because I didn't expect to be going to the gym on the Sunday, so I didn't actually have enough clothes. But Ross is always there, man. It always has some good sports clothes. So I got these. They're pretty comfy, and they were like $11, so it's nice. But yeah, pause squats moved well. Then did some comp deadlifts after that. Really glad I did this day on Sunday because it was meant to be on Monday, but I was also going to be arriving home on Monday. So it kind of worked out because I was really jet lagged, so it was perfect. And then you can see here my comp deadlifts, move my grip out, use straps, because at this point, after 6 days in a row of lifting on an Alico, your hands are pretty ruined. So I used the straps, helped me to get in a better position, get some good practice in with good weight. This was my top set 4. I think this is like 615, which might be a PR. I'm not really sure, but it was definitely a positioning PR. I kind of got out of position on that last rep, which is why the lockout was so slow, but it felt pretty good. Then dropped back and I did 530 for the rest of my sets of 4. Those felt really, really easy, and so that was great. But overall, a really nice 8 days. If you're ever in the San Jose area, go check out Boss Barbell Club. You will not regret it. Great gym. Kind of expensive to go there for a week, but in my opinion, it's more than worth it. By far the best gym I've ever been to. But thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I haven't been consistent these past 2 weeks, but I will try to make sure that I do. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this video, and I will see you next week.